During a routine school safety sweep, K-9 suddenly froze, then began barking wildly at the cafeteria floor. Officers thought it was just a false alarm, but when they lifted the grate, what they found underground left everyone speechless. This wasn't just a discovery. It was a hidden nightmare no one expected. It was just another Monday morning at Jefferson Elementary, a small town school tucked in the quiet suburbs. That morning, the school had scheduled a visit from the local police K-9 unit, part of an annual safety program designed to teach kids about emergency preparedness and the role of service animals. Officer Daniels, a long-time member of the force, walked proudly beside his partner, Bolt, a strong, alert German shepherd with a spotless service record. Bolt had recently completed advanced scent and detection training and was known for his sharp instincts and calm demeanor. The kids were thrilled, gathering in groups to wave and cheer as Bolt strutted by. Teachers stood nearby, smiling at the well-behaved line of students and the familiar officers. Their final stop before lunch was the cafeteria. As they entered the large, echoing room, the scent of old linoleum and yesterday's pizza lingered. Everything appeared perfectly normal. But just as Officer Daniels turned to exit, Bolt suddenly stopped, frozen, ears forward, eyes locked on a metal grate near the corner of the room. Bolt's body stiffened like a statue. A low growl rumbled from his chest, and then he barked loud, sharp. Again and again, his gaze glued to the grate in the cafeteria floor. Officer Daniels turned back, confused. "Bolt," he called, stepping closer. But the dog wasn't responding to commands. Instead, he lunged forward, paws scraping against the edges of the metal vent, snarling, now with urgency. Teachers nearby flinched. A few students gasped. "Maybe it's a rat," one whispered. "Or something dropped down there," another suggested. But Daniels knew that bark. It wasn't the alert for small animals. It was something else. Something serious. "Back the students up," Daniels said, voice tight. A teacher quickly ushered them to the other side of the room. Bolt wouldn't stop. He scratched, barked, then circled the vent and growled again. Ears pinned back, tail low, body on edge. Another officer entered, puzzled by the commotion. "What's going on?" "Not sure," Daniels replied, eyes narrowing. "But he's not leaving this spot." Bolt let out a piercing bark and dropped to a crouch, nose nearly pressed to the grate. Whatever was down there, it wasn't just scent. It was presence. And Bolt wasn't going anywhere until someone listened. Officer Daniels knelt beside Bolt, brushing dust off the edge of the metal grate. It wasn't part of the school's HVAC system. It looked older, industrial, almost out of place. He tugged at it, but it didn't budge. "Get the janitor," he called over his shoulder. Within minutes, Mr. Cranston, the school's maintenance lead, arrived, with a jangling keyring and a concerned look. "I haven't touched that hatch in years," Cranston muttered. "It's part of an old access tunnel from when the school had a boiler system, sealed up a long time ago." "Well, it's not sealed anymore," Daniel said grimly. With help from another officer, they pried the grate open. The heavy cover creaked as it lifted, revealing a dark, narrow shaft descending into shadow. A musty, rotten smell rose from below. Bolt took A step forward, nose twitching violently, but Daniels held him back. They shined a flashlight down the hole. A rusted ladder led into the dark, and something shimmered just beyond the beam's reach. Metal, plastic, wrappers. Daniels exchanged a glance with the other officer. "We're going in." The students were evacuated. The cafeteria was sealed. As Daniels lowered himself into the tunnel, he gripped the flashlight tighter. They had no idea what they were about to find, but Bolt had made one thing clear. Something or someone was down there. The narrow tunnel groaned under Officer Daniels' weight as he descended the rusted ladder. The beam of his flashlight cut through the thick dust, revealing old pipes, cobwebs, and the unsettling echo of dripping water. The space was tighter than expected, clearly forgotten over the years. But Bolt had been right. There was something here. As Daniels reached the bottom, his boots landed on damp concrete. The air was stale, almost choking. A few feet ahead, the tunnel widened into a crude chamber, its walls lined with decaying insulation and exposed wiring. He swept his light across the room and froze. A mattress, stained and crumpled, lay in the corner. Scattered nearby were empty food wrappers, plastic water bottles, cigarette butts, and a torn backpack. Against the far wall stood a folding table with a lantern, a burner phone, and a half-eaten granola bar. It was a hideout, recently used. Daniels called it in immediately. Within minutes, backup officers joined him, carefully documenting every detail. Forensics teams arrived and began bagging evidence. On a milk crate beside the mattress was a notebook, its pages filled with erratic handwriting, references to watching the kids, waiting for night, and a list of times matching the school's class schedules. Daniel swallowed hard. This wasn't just a hideout. It was a base of operation, built beneath a school full of children. Whoever had been down here was planning something, and Bolt's instinct had stopped it before it began. The question now was who had been living here and why. The investigation moved fast. Officers cross-referenced the items found in the tunnel with missing persons and known offenders. The burner phone provided a crucial break. One of the numbers matched a contact from a police report filed 3 months earlier involving a former school employee named Victor Kane. Victor had worked briefly as a night janitor at Jefferson Elementary, but was let go after staff raised concerns about his behavior. He disappeared before a full background check revealed multiple aliases and a history of trespassing on school grounds in neighboring towns. He had a warrant out for arrest, but had vanished without a trace. Now it seemed that he'd never really left. Surveillance footage from 2 nearby businesses showed a hooded man matching Victor's description, entering the school grounds after dark through a rear maintenance door, one believed to have been broken at the time. He had likely slipped in, used his knowledge of the building's old layout, and made the forgotten tunnel his hideout. Forensics found fingerprints on the burner phone, the food wrappers, and the notebook, all matching Victor Kane. But the most chilling detail came from the notebook. Pages detailing routines of specific students, especially those who stayed late for after-school programs. It wasn't random. He had been watching, planning. A multi-county manhunt was launched immediately. Thanks to Bolt's bark, officers weren't dealing with a tragedy. They were stopping one. In the making. Now it was a race against time to find Victor before he tried again somewhere else. News of the underground discovery spread fast. Local media covered the story, calling Bolt a four-legged hero. At Jefferson Elementary, the atmosphere shifted from fear to relief. A special assembly was held in the gymnasium. Students, parents, teachers, even officers from other districts gathered to honor the dog whose instincts had stopped something unthinkable. The children cheered as Daniels knelt beside his partner, patting his neck. He didn't hesitate, Daniels said into the microphone. He knew something was wrong, even when the rest of us couldn't see. That bark changed everything. Bolt wagged his tail, ears perked, tongue out, not understanding the words, but feeling the warmth of every cheer. Reporters asked if Bolt would retire a hero. Daniel smiled. Not yet. He's got more work to do. If you were moved by this incredible story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Stay with us for more heartwarming and unbelievable stories.